The year was 1951, a time when the world was still recovering from the aftermath of World War II. Oakland, California bustled with post-war optimism. The streets were alive with the energy of a community rebuilding and looking forward to a brighter future. Children's laughter echoed in the parks, a soundtrack to a seemingly simpler time. Their joy was infectious, spreading smiles to everyone who passed by. 6-year-old Luis Armando Albino, a bright-eyed boy with a mischievous grin, played with his friends. Life was good, filled with the innocent adventures of childhood. It was a day like any other, or so it seemed. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the neighborhood. Luis's mother Maria watched from their porch, a sense of contentment washing over her. She felt a deep sense of peace as she observed her son playing. She called out to Luis, her voice a familiar comfort in the afternoon air. It was time to come inside for dinner, it was time to come inside. But Luis didn't come. The swing set swayed gently in the breeze, but there was no sign of him. Maria scanned the park, her heart beginning to race. Where was her son? Panic set in as she called his name louder. Minutes stretched into an agonizing eternity. Each second felt like a lifetime as the fear grew stronger. Neighbors joined the search, their faces etched with concern. The community came together, united by the urgency of finding Luis. The police were called, their presence casting a dark cloud over the once peaceful neighborhood. Had Luis wandered off, or was something more sinister at play? Or had something more sinister occurred? The uncertainty gnawed at everyone's hearts. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park, a chilling realization gripped Maria's heart. The day was ending, but her nightmare was just beginning. Luis was gone, vanished, taken from her. The emptiness of the park mirrored the void in her heart. The nightmare every parent dreads had become her reality. Tears streamed down her face as she clung to the hope that her son would be found. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The search for Luis continued, but each passing season brought fresh heartache and dwindling hope. Leads ran cold. Witnesses offered conflicting accounts. The trail had gone ice cold. Maria, her heart shattered, refused to give up. She clung to the memory of her son's infectious laughter, his bright eyes, his boundless energy. She plastered his missing posters on every available surface, her silent pleas for help echoing in the wind. But Luis remained lost to her, a ghost in her own life. The police investigation, once a flurry of activity, slowed to a crawl. The case, like countless others, grew cold. Years later, detectives would revisit the files, their faces etched with the weight of unsolved mysteries. But Luis's abduction remained a haunting enigma, a puzzle with missing pieces. Life went on, but the Albino family was forever marked by Luis's disappearance. Each passing year brought a new layer of sorrow, a fresh reminder of the void left in their hearts. The pain never truly faded, merely softened around the edges, a dull ache that lingered in the background of their lives. It was a constant companion, a shadow that followed them through every moment of joy and sorrow. Maria, her hair now streaked with gray, never stopped searching for her son, her love for him an unyielding force. Years turned into decades, but her determination never wavered. She scoured records, followed leads, and clung to every shred of hope. The world changed at a dizzying pace. Cities grew, technology evolved, and society transformed in ways unimaginable. Technology advanced, borders blurred, and generations passed. The world became more connected, yet the mystery of Luis's disappearance remained unsolved. But through it all, the memory of Luis remained, a flickering flame that refused to be extinguished. His presence was felt in every family gathering, every whispered prayer, and every silent tear. His siblings, now adults with families of their own, carried the weight of their brother's absence, a shared history forever incomplete. They often gathered to reminisce, sharing stories and memories, keeping Luis's spirit alive. They held on to the hope, however faint, that one day they might find Luis, that they might unravel the mystery that had haunted their family for so long. Every new clue, every piece of information was a beacon of hope in their relentless search. They imagined him out there somewhere, living a life he never knew was stolen, oblivious to the void he had left behind. In their hearts, they believed that one day their paths would cross again, and the family would finally be whole. In the new millennium, advances in DNA technology offered a glimmer of hope for families of missing persons. Cold cases, once considered unsolvable, were being reopened and re-examined. The power of DNA, once the realm of science fiction, was now a reality, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Law enforcement agencies across the country began utilizing DNA databases to identify John and Jane Does, to connect the dots in long-forgotten cases. Families, their hopes rekindled, submitted their DNA, praying for a match, for any shred of information that could lead them to their missing loved ones. The Albino family, spurred on by this new wave of hope, also submitted their DNA. They understood the odds were slim, but they clung to the belief that miracles could happen, that science might provide the answers that had eluded them for so long. Section 5. DNA, the game changer. The science of DNA analysis is both complex and elegant. It's a field where microscopic clues can unlock mysteries that have baffled investigators for years. By comparing DNA profiles, scientists can establish familial relationships, even across generations and geographical distances. In recent years, the rise of genealogy websites and public DNA databases has revolutionized forensic science. These platforms, initially designed to help people trace their ancestry, have become invaluable tools for law enforcement agencies. By uploading DNA profiles from crime scenes or unidentified remains, investigators can now search for potential relatives of suspects or victims. This technique, known as genetic genealogy, has been instrumental in solving a growing number of cold cases. It's a testament to the power of collaboration between science, technology, and human perseverance. In a twist of fate worthy of a Hollywood screenplay, a story that seemed almost too incredible to be true began to unfold. The DNA sample submitted by the Albino family, after years of searching and hoping, finally yielded a match. It wasn't a direct match to Luis, the boy who had vanished without a trace, but it was close enough to send shockwaves through the family and the law enforcement community, reigniting a case that had long gone cold. The match pointed to a man living on the East Coast, far from where the original abduction took place, a man who had no idea he might hold the key to a decades-old mystery that had haunted a family for generations. Investigators, armed with this crucial lead, cautiously approached the man, hoping to finally bring closure to the Albino family. His name was withheld to protect his privacy. They explained the situation, the long-lost child, the family's unwavering hope, and the possibility that he could be the missing piece of their puzzle. The man, understandably shocked and confused, struggled to process the information he was being given. Despite his initial disbelief, he agreed to provide a DNA sample for confirmation, hoping to uncover the truth. The results, when they came back, were conclusive and left no room for doubt. The man was indeed Luis Armando Albino, the boy who had been abducted from an Oakland park over 70 years ago. The boy who had been the subject of countless searches and investigations, now an elderly man with a life of his own. He had lived a full life, filled with experiences and memories, unaware of his true identity, and the family he had been separated from for so long. A stranger to his own family history, he now faced the daunting task of reconnecting with a past he never knew he had. The news of Luis's discovery sent shockwaves through the Albino family. Joy, disbelief, and a sense of surreal wonderment washed over them. Their Luis, the brother they had mourned for decades, was alive. He had been found. It was a miracle, an answer to prayers whispered into the void for over 70 years. But the joy was tempered with trepidation. Luis, now in his 70s, had lived his entire life with a different name, a different family, a different history. How would he react to this life-altering revelation? Would he want to connect with his biological family after all these years? The decision to reach out to Luis was fraught with emotion. The family knew they had to proceed with sensitivity and respect, understanding that this news could upend his entire world. They wrote him a letter, pouring out their hearts, sharing their memories of him, and expressing their overwhelming desire to meet him. Luis's reaction to the news was a mix of shock, disbelief, and a sense of disorientation. His entire life, the memories he held dear, the identity he had forged for himself, all seemed to crumble around him. He had a family, children, grandchildren, a life built on a foundation that had suddenly shifted beneath his feet. Yet, amidst the turmoil, there was a flicker of curiosity, a longing to understand this missing part of himself. He agreed to meet with his biological family, a decision that took immense courage and a willingness to embrace the unknown. The reunion was a bittersweet symphony of emotions. Tears flowed freely as decades of separation melted away in a symphony of embraces and shared stories. There were awkward moments, of course, the inevitable distance that comes from a lifetime apart. But there was also love, an undeniable bond that transcended time and circumstance. The story of Luis Armando Albino is a testament to the enduring power of hope, the unwavering love of a family, and the transformative potential of DNA technology. It's a story that reminds us that, even in the darkest of times when all hope seems lost, miracles can still happen. Luis's case, though exceptional in its duration, is just one of many cold cases that have been solved through the power of DNA analysis. It serves as a beacon of hope for families of missing persons, a reminder that they should never give up hope that answers may yet be found. Advances in DNA technology continue to revolutionize forensic science, bringing closure to families and holding perpetrators accountable for their actions. Luis's story is a powerful reminder that science, coupled with human compassion and perseverance, can heal old wounds and reunite loved ones torn apart by tragedy.